I used to work the night shift at a small town hospital in Ohio. It was one of those quiet places where not much ever happened. We didn't get many patients, mostly just old folks from the community or the occasional person passing through town. It was usually pretty uneventful, but I will never, ever forget what happened on one rainy night back in 2019. It's something that has stayed with me ever since. I was alone at the main reception desk, surrounded by the silence of the empty lobby. The clock on the wall showed it was 2:47 a.m. The only other person on duty was the security guard, who had just gone to check the back gate. It was part of his routine. He'd usually be back in about 10 minutes, so I wasn't worried. That's when the front door buzzer rang. A sharp, sudden ding. Then another one ding. I immediately looked up, expecting to see someone standing there, needing help, but there was no one there. Just the empty glass doors, reflecting the flickering red light of the exit sign above them. My first thought was that it was just the wind, or maybe the automatic door sensor was glitching because of the heavy rain outside. It made sense, but then someone knocked. And this wasn't just a random tap from a tree branch. It was slow and deliberate and rhythmic. Knock, knock, knock. A chill ran down my spine. I froze right there in my chair. The doors were always locked from the inside after midnight. You couldn't just walk up and open them. I stared intently at the doors, but I still couldn't see anyone clearly. Just the faint, blurry outline of a woman's shadow against the glass. Ma'am, are you okay? I called out, my voice a little shaky. There was no answer. The shadow seemed to move closer, and for just a split second, I saw her face in the reflection. It was pale, drenched from the rain. Her eyes were wide open, staring right at me like she was desperately begging for help. My heart started pounding in my chest. I scrambled for the intercom to alert security, but as soon as I looked back toward the doors, she was gone, just vanished into the night. My mind was racing. Maybe she'd gone around to the side entrance. I had to check. I unlocked the front doors and stepped outside. The rain hit my face, cold and heavy, and the parking lot lights were flickering erratically, casting long dancing shadows everywhere. There was no sign of anyone. But right there on the pavement, near the door, were bare footprints. They were small, like a woman's, and they led absolutely nowhere. They just stopped after a few steps, as if the person who made them had just disappeared into thin air. I hurried back inside, my hands trembling as I locked every door I could. I needed to log the event in a notebook just for the record. As I sat down, my eyes landed on the desk phone. The little red light was blinking, indicating a missed call. I picked it up to check the caller ID. The number displayed said, Room 214. The problem was, Room 214 had been empty for months. A woman named Linda had passed away in that room heart failure 2 years ago. Driven by some strange instinct, I pulled up her old patient file. And that's when my stomach completely dropped. The photo on her record, it was the exact same face I had just seen reflected in the glass doors. The pale skin, the wide pleading eyes, it was her. I grabbed the phone and called the security guard, stuttering, barely able to get the words out, telling him he needed to come back to the front desk. Fast. He arrived 5 minutes later, soaked from the rain and looking annoyed. But when I showed him the security camera footage, he went completely silent. On the CCTV monitor, you could see me sitting at the desk, looking up toward the door. You could even hear the faint sound of the knocks being picked up by the lobby microphone. But on the screen, there was no one there. Just me, talking to the empty air, reacting to a ghost that only I could see. Later that morning, when the day shift came in, I tried to explain what had happened. One of the older nurses, a woman who had worked there for decades, listened to my story and her face went pale. She leaned in and whispered, she used to knock too, back when she was a patient. She'd knock on her bedside table right before her heart monitor stopped. I quit that job 2 weeks later. I couldn't handle the nights there anymore. But sometimes, even now when I'm lying in bed and can't sleep, I swear I can still hear those slow, rhythmic knocks on my window. Knock, knock. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoy spooky tales like this, make sure to hit that button and subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.